Run.
Good evening. The first order of business is a public hearing. Public hearing is due to amendment to section 405.400, application and review of fees. Does anyone want to address that topic?
Good evening, Mayor and Board. Chair, before you is a proposed amendment, section 405-400, application and review fees. I'd like to ask the board to accept as part of the public record the following: the municipal code by reference, copy of the public hearing notice, and my planning and zoning report. This proposed amendment is for adding the existing stormwater management fees to the fee schedule to make it easier for people to access, and establishing the in-house plan review fees for stormwater improvement construction plans and final record plats.
Is that it? Thank you, Jack.
Thank you, sir.
Does anyone else want to address either for or against the public hearing? If you would come forward at this time. Otherwise, we're going to move on to open the meeting. At this time, I call the Board of Aldermen meeting to order for the City of Warrenton, January 15, 2013. We'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance, if everyone would stand. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
First item on the agenda is approval of the minutes of the executive session minutes from December 18, 2012. Any corrections or additions or concerns? I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the executive session minutes from December 18th, 2012.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Tallow, seconded by Alderman Clark to approve the executive session minutes from December 18, 2012. Roll call vote, please.
Alderman Dreyer.
I abstain, I wasn't here.
Alderman Flake.
Abstain, I was not present.
Alderman Cornell.
Yes.
Alderman Tallow.
Yes.
Alderman Kendall.
Yes.
Alderman Clark.
Yes.
Motion carried 4 with 2 abstentions. On 3B, regular board meeting minutes from December 18, 2012. Any concerns or corrections or additions?
Motion to approve regular board meeting minutes from December 18th, 2012.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Tallow, seconded by Alderman Clark to approve the regular board meeting minutes from December 18, 2012. Roll call, please.
Alderman Flake.
Abstain, I was not present.
Alderman Cornell.
Yes.
Alderman Tallow.
Yes.
Alderman Kendall.
Yes.
Alderman Clark.
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer.
Abstain, I wasn't present.
Motion carried 4-0 with 2 abstentions. Item 3C, special board meeting minutes from January 7, 2013. Any additions or corrections?
I make a motion to approve the minutes.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Clark, seconded by Alderman Flake to approve the special board meeting minutes from January 7, 2013. Roll call, please.
Alderman Cornell.
Yes.
Alderman Tallow.
Yes.
Alderman Kendall.
Abstain, I wasn't here.
Alderman Clark.
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer.
I abstained because I didn't get here in time.
Alderman Flake.
Yes.
Motion carried 4-0 with 2 abstentions. You almost were here.
Almost.
Just if we'd have given you another minute. On the agenda on item 4, hearing from the public, we extend an invitation from anyone to address the board, ask any questions or any concerns. If you would like to address the board, we ask that you come forward to the podium, state your name and purpose, and we'll limit your remarks to 5 minutes or less. Not hearing anyone from the public, then we'll extend that same courtesy to the Board of Aldermen. Anybody from the board have any comments you'd like to share with the public?
Well, I've been hearing a lot of comments about the lighting that we put up along Highway 47, a lot of good comments, so That project was a long time coming, but I think it was well worth it, and everybody's satisfied with it, from what I'm hearing.
Go ahead, Jim.
I would like to address a couple things. Number one, a couple previous board meetings ago, when we discussed gift cards given to the employees for years of service, I questioned the legality or the authority of the city and voiced my concerns on how that would be met with a state audit. It's my understanding that prior to the banquet held this past Saturday evening, Ms. Thorne was able to get some clarification and some authorization, for lack of a better term, from the state auditor's office. So in light of that, I was okay with that. I did have the opportunity to attend the awards banquet on Saturday night. My wife and I had a very good time. We were the recipients of a couple of door prizes that we passed on, hoping that the city employees would enjoy those. But overall, my first time there, and a very good time was had. So I think that it goes a long way to address and recognize what I believe is one of the city's best assets, in addition to the parks and the roads that we have, are the employees that keep the city going. So I commend the city staff, and I'm out of words.
You're out? No,
I'm out.
I know you're not out of words.
I'm out of words.
Done
I
for
need to
now.
take a breath.
Alderman Tallow, any comments?
I probably could have said a little better, but that was good enough.
Alderman Kendall,
No.
Alderman Clark.
No.
No. Okay. That means I missed Alderman Dreyer, and
No,
you're good?
I got my breath back.
All right.
If you want me to say some more, I can.
On item six is mayor's report. Kind of reiterate what John, or Alderman Cornell said. Really, my thanks goes out to the committee on the awards and recreation banquet. I thought you all did a great job organizing that thing, from the food, catering to the program. I think everybody that was there had a good time, a very pleasant evening. So we thank you for your energy and work on that project. Couple things I might mention to the public. The auditor, who is still here, by the way, she told me Friday she may be gone, and that would most likely Thursday would be her last day here. So we might have a party celebration that the auditors are going back to Jefferson City. So, but I just want to pass that along to the public. Might mention today the filing for Board of Aldermen ended. No new persons filed. I looked for Alderman Tallow and Alderman Kendall's name on the ballot, and I failed to see it. So we'll have 2 candidates for each one of the 3 alderman seats that are coming up in April. Along with Alderman Flake, in fact, I have an email here concerning the streetlights along 47, and I've had many compliments regarding the lighting situation. This is from Angela Herbal. It said, I just wanted to compliment you guys on the new lighting along Highway 47. It looks amazing. I love the improvements in our city. So I'm like Alderman Flake. I think that was a great project, a long time coming. I think most of the people in the city are happy to see the results of it. So, and that's all I have, except for item 6A, have an appointment of Ginger Myrick to the Board of Adjustments to finish out Ricky Kohler's term. Ricky resigned from the board on planning and zoning, and of course we have a board within the board, which is the Board of Adjustments, and I need Ginger to fill that slot. So I'll entertain a motion to approve my appointment of Ginger Myrick.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Cornell, seconded by Alderman Flake, to approve the appointment of Ginger Myrick to the Board of Adjustments to finish Ricky Kohler's term. I ask for a roll call on that.
Alderman Tallow?
Yes.
Alderman Kendall?
Yes.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
yes.
Alderman Flake?
Yes.
Alderman Cornell?
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. On item B, the appointment of Mike Kendall to the Board of Adjustments as alternate C. I would entertain a motion for Mr. Kendall.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Tallow, second by Alderman Cornell to approve the appointment of Mike Kendall to the Board of Adjustments to alternate C. Roll call, please.
Alderman Kendall?
Yes.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Flake?
Yes.
Alderman Cornell?
Yes.
Alderman Tallow?
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Item 7, Director of Operations, Finance Officer Terry Thorne.
The first item I have for you this evening is just to point out that in your packet, you have the annual list of City of Warrenton accomplishments. I'm not going to go through all this list, but what we did was to ask each department to put together what their major accomplishments were. So we did a summary of that to kind of go through and put on paper what the accomplishments were. Some having to do with the new proposed I-70 interchange, the ruling in the appellate court case regarding building permits, the joining of the Greater Warren County Economic Development Council, completion of a school incident crisis response plan, the consolidation of grounds and maintenance operations by the purchase of the new structure, which has been extremely positive for that department, completion of the pedestrian lighting along Highway 47, completion of the improvements to well number 6, which last summer solved our water shortage problem. And there were 8 new businesses opened in Warrenton in 2012. So it didn't seem like we had as many major accomplishments as maybe what we had in some past years, but when you put it all together on paper, there's quite a lot there. So you will find tonight that each of, or several of the departments, not all of them, have put together an annual summary. We'll have some of those tonight. The remainder of those will be on for the next meeting. We didn't want to put them all on at one time. And what I've asked them to do is to just answer any questions that you might have, but not really to go through that in great detail since it is a summary of what we've already done. So I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have about the list of accomplishments for the year.
Busier than you would think. When I sit down and looked at those, you just take some of those for granted, and you don't realize how many things did happen during the course
Absolutely.
of the year.
I know we'd be here all night if you read off every one, but one of them that stuck out to me that you didn't mention was updating the sign code, and I know that was a time-consuming, arduous task. So the people that completed that deserve some recognition.
Okay. The next item I have for you tonight is a request for approval to pay the loan payment for the Industrial Development Authority land. They met on January 11th and approved the payment to the Missouri Bank, and now we need your approval to actually make that loan payment on their behalf. The total balance that is on the loan as of December 19th is $545,167.80. I know when we talked with the IDA board last Friday about it, there was some surprise that was the balance. And then we have the principal and interest payment. Principal amount is $60,574.20. Interest is $6,919.76. I'll tell you, when I looked at this, the last interest payment that we made was in the $30,000 range, and I went, okay, something's wrong. But we did the research to find that this is a floating interest loan, and the interest rates have dropped that much that now the interest portion is much less than what it was at one point in time. So I'm just asking for your approval to write the check to make the loan payment.
Is that, you want the loan payment and the interest payment together?
Principal and interest, yes.
And what's that total come up to?
I knew you were going to ask me that.
I was looking for that on my sheet.
For $67,493.96.
This piece of property, I don't know if the public knows where it's at, but it's located in Truesdale in our, actually it's kind of in our industrial park, or what we label industrial park, but it's on Pinckney Street across from the, was it Rebecca Boone School? And we would like to develop that piece of property or sell it. I shouldn't say we, the IDA board would either like to develop it or sell it to a developer and have something done with it. I was able to meet with them last week, and I think their hands are kind of tied because they have a hefty debt on that piece of property, and it really keeps them from doing anything else. So we do need to either sell the property or get somebody in to develop it. Any concerns or questions about the request from the board? Then I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion to approve the payment of principal and interest in the amount of $67,493.96 on the industrial development property.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Cornell, second by Alderman Flake, to approve the principal and interest payment for the IDA Industrial Authority Board in the amount of $67,493.96. Roll call, please.
Alderman Clark.
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer.
Yes.
Alderman Flake.
Yes.
Alderman Cornell.
Yes.
Alderman Tallow.
Yes.
Alderman Kendall.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0.
And the only thing I have for you under operational updates is I was told today by Guy Gevers that the athletic complex parking lot work is completed. Now, that is not the barrier that will still be installed, but all the rock is in place and the lot is existing. So come springtime, we will have additional parking at the complex.
That will take a lot of pressure off of things.
Absolutely.
That's good. So, and you were able to do that in this kind of weather?
Yes, sir.
Good. Well, that's good. And Terry, anything else?
That's all, Mayor. Thank you.
Thank you. Item 8, Chief of Police Greg Howdeshell.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. I do have my annual summary for 2012 for you. As Terry indicated, quite a few accomplishments. I was actually kind of surprised as well when we really started talking about it. And most of ours kind of centered around the school district, and in particular, the middle school. One of the biggest things that I'm really proud about is the reduction of fights at the middle school. In the first semester of 2011, they had 40-plus fights in that semester. In the first semester of 2012, we had 0. So, I know it's not all us, but it's, the strong partnership between us and the school district that's really helping to combat that problem and reduce those numbers.
If we added what do you attribute that to as far as from your end?
Well, I think a strong presence in the school. We've got a very good school resource officer and Officer Binder in the school. He made an unprecedented number of detentions out of that school last year. The main focus was assaults and fighting, and I think that sent a pretty clear message. So, from our aspect, I think that's a big part of why, this year is a lot calmer than last year was.
Yeah. Great.
And then I also summarized some of the highlights from the year. 28,000 plus total calls for service, and that includes everything. That's all the radio calls and animal control and code enforcement. That's everybody combined, which is down a little bit from last year, and we've talked about why that is before. Arrests hover around an average of 2 a day, which is a pretty good number. Our felony clearance rate in the Bureau is a little bit lower than I'd like to see. It's close to 70%. I'd like to see that up closer to 75, between 75 and 80%, so that's something we'll be working on in the coming year. This animal shelter number is something, these guys really go unsung through the year, and I'm glad that I got to put this on here for you to see. They do a phenomenal job of placing animals out of the shelter and into other shelters, and with particular emphasis on no-kill shelters. So 76% of the animals that we take in are either placed back with their owners, adopted out of our shelter, or put in a no-kill shelter. I personally think that's a pretty phenomenal number, and I'm very proud of them for achieving that. So that's kind of in a nutshell what we did last year. Just as an aside, in December, of course, things got a little crazy again in the schools because of the Newtown incident. That week just before Christmas was pretty much nonstop dealing with the schools, and really actually increased our partnership and our relationship with the school multifold. So our relationship continues to grow. Any questions that I can entertain about Thursday?
You know, this might seem like a silly question, but the Rebecca Boone School in Truesdale, does your department police that, or does that go to the Truesdale department?
Yeah, if Truesdale is on duty, they'll handle those calls.
Okay.
However, our 2 school resource officers are also cross-deputized in Truesdale. So if they have a problem in that school, our officers do respond over to it to handle it.
Okay.
It's actually a great question.
I was just curious, as it kind of popped up. Anything else for the chief? Thank you.
You bet.
I'm ready to move to Jack Hamp, Planning and Zoning.
You have my annual department report, if anybody on the board has any questions.
Not as busy as you'd like to be?
I think we accomplished a lot, but can always do more. Yes,
Well,
sir.
I think so too. And sometimes when when the growth isn't happening, it gives us a chance to go back and clean up other things. And I think you've done a good job on that, Jack.
All right, thank you.
Any questions for Jack with the planning zoning from any of the board members?
No, looks good.
I think we're moving right along there.
The next one is the proposed amendment to section 405-400, application and review fees. If you have any questions on that?
Any questions on the amendments to section 405-400? And we're gonna address that on an ordinance.
Not at this meeting, sir,
Not at this meeting. Okay. We need any action on this?
if we can approve it.
Approve it? Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Kendall, second by Alderman Flake to approve the amendment to section 405.400, application and a review fee. Roll call, please.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Flake?
Yes.
Alderman Cornell?
Yes.
Alderman Tallow?
Yes.
Alderman Kendall?
Yes.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Thank you, Jack. Is that all?
Thank you, sir. Yes.
On item number 10, Guy Gevers, Public Works Director.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. You got my 2012 year-end summary. If you have any questions, or if you have any questions later on,
Your crew's done a lot this year, Guy, you really have. Well, pass that on, that very good work this year.
I'll do that.
Had a lot of calls and compliments on your workers too when they're in an area, that they don't really interfere too much with the public, and they allow them to pass when need to, and they really work with them good, so that's good to know.
Thank you.
I think I agree with Alderman Tallow. I think your staff's well-trained. When you work for a municipality, that's a pretty tough job, because you not only have you as a boss or supervisor and the second person down, they have about 3,000 to 4,000 other bosses that watch every move they make, whether someone's leaning on that shovel too long or taking too long of a break. You know who gets called? The alderman first, and then me last, hopefully. But I think they're well in tune with what goes on out there, and they do a great job. Appreciate it. Pass that along to the staff. Any other questions for Guy on his annual report? How about snow and ice control policy?
You have that in front of you.
Were they out all night the other night, or
No, we didn't get called out at all.
nobody went out?
Yeah, there you go.
Credit to the guys that were working and went to the banquet that they all knew and they were all ready.
Saving salt again.
There you go.
Do we need any action on the snow and ice control? Need a motion to approve that?
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Tallow, second by Alderman Dreyer to approve the snow and ice control policy. Roll call, please.
Alderman Flake.
Yes.
Alderman Cornell.
Yes.
Yes.
Alderman Kendall.
Yes.
Alderman Clark.
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Water tank cleaning bid for well number 7 and 8.
And then my recommendation is go with inland potable service for $2,870.
That's well within the budget, that's great.
What was the amount again?
$2,870.
Let's see, there it is. Okay. If there's no concerns or discussions, I'll entertain a motion.
So move.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Flake, second by Alderman Tallow to approve the low bid of inland portable services for $2,870. Roll call, please.
Alderman Cornell.
Yes.
Alderman Tallow.
Yes.
Alderman Kendall.
Yes.
Alderman Clark.
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer.
Yes.
Alderman Flake.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Shoring equipment bid.
I'm recommending to go with low bid with Luby equipment for $4,225. That was
Get a lot of
budgeted.
bids on these different things, so that's good too.
Yeah, we get a good
Glad to see
turnout.
that.
That was
Any
budgeted for
discussion on
$6,000.
the low bid request? I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Kendall, seconded by Alderman Tallow to approve the low bid from Luby Equipment Company. Is that
That's correct.
right? In the amount of $4,225. Roll call, please.
Alderman Tallow.
Yes.
Alderman Kendall.
Yes.
Alderman Clark.
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer.
Yes.
Alderman Flake.
Yes.
Alderman Cornell.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Backhoe bid.
This is a state contract to Herb Equipment. The backhoe is 410K for $89,192. Less a trade-in, we're gonna trade in our older backhoe. And they're trading it in, they're giving us $43,500. So the base price is $45,692. We budgeted $95,000 for it.
When we originally budgeted, oh, I'm sorry, go
Go
ahead.
ahead.
When we originally budgeted that, was it our intention to trade a backhoe in?
Yes, but we didn't know what trade-in would be at the time.
And I understand, about the state bid, that has been bid out and that's the best price available. But when you throw in the trade-in, is it possible that we could have gotten a better?
We went with Louisby because they're local, I would say local,
Herb?
Herb, I'm sorry. And for the repairs and that, it's closer for us.
You feel that the 43,500 is a
I feel
fair
I
market?
feel comfortable with it.
My question on why we're updating our backhoe, I mean, do we have a lot of hours on the other one, or is it worn out, or is it just
The 2006, the one we're replacing,
that
and
that you're
and it's getting
because
sloppy.
I'm seeing we're getting a lot of money for it, and I'm thinking,
Yeah.
maybe there's a lot of life
Well,
left.
there is, but before we we're getting to the point where it needs tires now.
Maintenance.
It needs rear tires, and the boom's getting a little sloppy, so that's gonna have to be adjusted.
Okay.
What kind of price would it take to bring that up to, I mean, are
I
the
didn't look
tires-
I didn't look into that to see what it would take to get it and have it redone.
Do you have any, I mean, and I understand, I'm betting it's not gonna be $150 a tire like I put on my,
No,
are they would that be tens of thousands of dollars worth of work, or?
I have no idea without sending it to the shop and have it.
So what you're telling us, though, it's getting at a point and stage where it's gonna need some maintenance work on it.
Right.
Some upkeep and repair.
And if we don't rotate the old with the new, then we're gonna have a bunch of old.
Equipment all at once, and, okay, I understand.
And the other John Deere that we have is a 2008.
Okay,
Plus, we get a better trade-in value on them too.
absolutely, yeah, I understand it. I'll entertain a motion if there are no other questions.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Kendall, seconded by Alderman Flake to approve the bid from Herb Equipment Company in the amount of $45,692. Roll call, please.
Alderman Kendall?
Yes.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Flake?
Yes.
Alderman Cornell?
Without knowing the repair costs, I would vote no.
Alderman Tallow?
Yes.
Motion carried 5-1. Light duty truck bid.
This is to replace a pickup truck that was damaged, and want to reallocate the money from what was saved on the backhoe to the pickup truck. And it's Roberts Chevrolet. This is a state bid, and it's a smaller pickup. It ain't a full size.
What was the, you said the previous vehicle was damaged
Yes.
It was totaled in an accident.
recently?
A couple of months ago.
Didn't recall that.
Any questions or concerns? I'll entertain a motion to accept that bid.
So moved.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Tallow, seconded by Alderman Dreyer to accept the bid from Roberts Chevy Buick dealership for a 2012 Chevrolet Colorado two-wheel drive regular cab pickup in the amount of $16,675. Roll call, please.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Flake?
Yes.
Alderman Cornell?
Yes.
Alderman Tallow?
Yes.
Alderman Kendall?
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Anything
That's all
else,
I
guys?
have.
Thank you, appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Economic Development Director, Michelle Slinther.
Good evening. Although I do not have anything on the agenda, I would like to inform you all that I did have an opportunity to meet briefly with the new representatives for the Outlet Mall. And it's a firm out of Columbia, Missouri, and they do not have any definitive plans yet as to what they plan to do, but they are working on plans for what they, for the center, and as soon as I have more information, I will bring that to you.
So they're not the actual owners, they're just representing the owners?
Yes, it's a new management company that they have.
Okay, and there is a plan in the works?
They're working on some different concepts of what they're going to do, but that's all that they have discussed at this time.
Are they willing to meet with the city or the board or anything to share that with or see how we can help them?
I can check with them and see, but I know at this time, they're just kind of going over what they have, but I could see if they'd be willing to
Okay,
do
I think
it.
we'd be interested in doing something like that with them.
Okay.
All right, thanks, Michelle.
Michelle, are you at liberty to mention anything that might be coming down the pike with the Warren County Economic Development Group?
Everything at this time is still confidential that
Says
they
okay.
have.
'Cause I heard something the other day, but
You want to share?
well, I'm not saying nothing.
Why?
That's why I was gonna ask her.
See if she would share.
She goes to the meetings.
Unfortunately,
Okay,
everything
good
is still
answer.
confidential.
Thank
at
you.
this
You
time.
just passed it, right? You passed.
Not to steal your thunder, but I know that there is a meeting, I think it's the 31st of January.
Yes.
With Hunter Modular and Jonesburg, who's built a new facility, and they're having a ribbon cutting and open house, and I'm sure the board would be welcome to attend that. I got an email on it just this week, I believe, on there.
It's a
You know,
Taj
you
Mahal.
might, is it?
Oh, yeah.
I haven't seen it.
I've done phone work there. It's
I'm not
beautiful.
go up and visit.
Really nice.
So, but that'll be a big plus for Jonesboro,
Oh, sure.
having that facility. Michelle, anything else?
That's all I have for this evening.
Thank you. Now our newest member of the staff, I'm going to call upon Recreational Director Dottie Phillips.
Good evening, Mayor and Board. The first thing I have for you is consideration of the pool management contract extension. This is the final year for the option to extend the contract. The original copy that you had in your packet, it was discovered that there were a couple of mistakes in that on dates and also some pricing, so those changes are in the copy that you received tonight. Basically, the increase, there was a slight increase, 2.7% for pay of the front desk staff and the guards. The overall base salary increase was 2.7%. And then the management fee also increased 2.7%. One thing to note is that this company is the same company, obviously, that we've used before, and they're very well respected in the community and of Parks and Recreation. Something they did last year when the pool was closed for a brief period of time, they actually refunded $12,200 of the management fees, and they were not obligated by contract to do so. So we seem to have a
that's
good
great.
working relationship
That
with them.
is good, just out of the kindness of their heart.
Did the right thing.
So my
That's good.
recommendation would be to,
In other places that you've been, do other cities hire a pool management company, or do they run that under the Recreation Department themselves?
it varies
Varies.
from place to place. In a department of our size, I would say that contracting out management of the pool is probably the best option in order to make sure you have plenty oversight. You know, compared to the amount of staff that we have, that would be the best option.
You need no action on this. We're gonna convert or do the bill on this later. Okay. What else you got for us, Dottie?
The second item I have is a Recreation Department Program and Operational Changes Report. Does anybody have any questions on any of those items?
These changes, a few changes you want to make, you've seen that work better at other areas you work.
Yeah, well, first of all, as far as the staffing, this sort of brings us more in line with the job descriptions and job titles that are uniformly used throughout the field. And basically, this is going to allow us to more effectively utilize people in the different positions. Instead of just having, say, a field manager who's only going to do fields, we can use them to work special events and do other things as well. So the job descriptions as like a recreation aide are expanded. And if after we do a needs assessment and it's determined by the community that we're going to start, doing some more programming and stuff, getting this stuff in line will allow us to kind of naturally grow into whatever we may need in the future, staff-wise.
It's good.
I like the discount that you're offering for returning teams. I think that's a great idea.
It's your plan to take over concessions back from a contracted basis to handle in-house?
Yes.
Very good.
And down at the tournament scheduling, I see that current year, your plan is for tournament scheduling, marketing in the facility and established fees. You believe that we've got a marketable facility to bring tournaments to town?
Absolutely. I think that, I think it's really about making the right contacts. An example would be, I sent an email last week to Christy Rich, who I believe is the state commissioner for ASA softball. Got a return email from her this week, and I'll be talking with her on Thursday to see about establishing some tournaments that we may be able to have here. It's contacting the girls' Fast Pitch State Association to try to bring those people in. And there's, Brad and I have talked about a couple of different things with the facility. Our facility is great. One of the things, though, that happens is that with our field sizes, people don't want the distances on the fences. But it's something that we can work around, that we can make, we can still make it happen, but we have to get the information out there to let people know that just because our fields are 330 feet doesn't mean we can't, put some fencing up or something. And then the other issue with the tournament scheduling is there's really not an established fee. In the past, I believe there was a $1,000 deposit charged, and then there was a tournament closeout sheet where they went back in and put exactly what the direct costs were and subtracted that from the deposit and then gave a refund. And some of these people who are coming from all over may see that and go, what kind of facility is this? The effort was there to just try to get them to come in because, we wanted people here. But if they're in Illinois and they can't make that trip without seeing what the facility looks like, then that may actually be a detriment. So we're looking at completing a whole new tournament packet and putting some stuff on the website so people can see not only the pictures we have currently, but some more, and really trying to market it.
We start getting some tournaments in town and filling up restaurants and hotels. You're going to be a very popular person.
Yes, you will.
Maybe
When
this
we
year.
developed that park, one of the main things that drove it was getting tournaments here to bring more people in and help pay for it as it went. And over the years, I never understood why we couldn't get tournaments going on here. Part of it had to do, just still didn't want to go to distance, but anybody that's came here and saw this park, they just can't believe how nice it is for a small town as we have. So I think what you're saying is putting pictures out there and explaining what it is and what we offer, I think may help.
I think so too. I think that this year will be, kind of a test year to get the information out and see if we can make the contacts and get, obviously as many as we can, but then next year hopefully will be our true first year of really being able to market it heavily and to the right people and what have you.
Good.
Sounds good.
You got a lot of good ideas, Dottie.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything else, Dottie?
No, sir.
Thank you very much. Maintenance and Grounds Director, Brad Boothcrew. What do you got for us, Brad?
Good evening, Mayor and Board. You have my annual department report. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them for you.
Y'all enjoying that indoor facility yet? The new building?
Oh, very much so.
I thought about
Nice
you
to
guys
have
the other day when it was so cold out. I thought, man, I bet they're liking the fact they're inside.
Yes, it is very nice to be able to work on equipment when it's warm inside.
I was by there one day when one of our first snows, and they were enjoying it. And a lot of work was getting done. It was, where you're not all bundled up and froze. And
Right. Yeah, it's
get a lot more things done.
really has been a great improvement, and the guys all thank you for it.
Good. Any questions for Brad on the annual report? Anything else, Brad?
That's all I have for you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Item 14, Finance Manager, Gabrielle Curry. Gabrielle, what do you got for us?
I have the Warrenton Apartments sewer credit. There's a spreadsheet, the utility billing sewer adjustment spreadsheet, and attached to that are the letters that we received from Warrenton Apartments from the plumber indicating when he was called out and when he witnessed the leak and that type of thing that you all had requested the last time we had spoke about this. On the spreadsheet, the average sewer consumption amount that we came up with, the best way that we saw to approach that was to look at the consumption for the last year for the same time frame because we couldn't really, tell what their leak was looking at it now. So we have an average sewer consumption of 26,600 gallons that we used for each month, and then came up with the total sewer credit of $2,735.47.
Have you presented this to the owners of the apartment, or?
We have spoke, and she didn't have any concerns with that amount.
She thought that was a fair resolution.
Yes.
And this is giving credit on the sewer end of it, not the water.
Correct.
The supply end.
I mean, obviously they use the water, so they have to pay for that.
It's just the sewer end.
So your recommendation is that we give them $2,735.47 credit? Is that what I'm reading?
Yes, that is their recommended credit amount.
So how are we doing that? Are we just taking that off their bill each month? Or are we gonna send them a check for that amount?
No, what we would do is put in an adjustment for that amount, because they've already been billed every month this other amount. So we would put in, unless they request to have a check back.
Okay.
That's kind of
All
up
right.
to them, but we're going to put it as a lump sum amount.
We need a motion to approve that.
Make a motion to approve a utility billing sewer adjustment in the amount of $2,735.47 for the Warrenton Apartments.
Have a second?
Second.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Cornell, seconded by Alderman Dreyer to approve the utility billing sewer adjustment for Warrenton Apartments in the amount of $2,735.47. Roll call, please.
Alderman Dreyer?
Yes.
Alderman Flake?
Yes.
Alderman Cornell?
Yes.
Alderman Tallow?
Yes.
Alderman Kendall?
Yes.
Alderman Clark?
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Item 15, City Clerk Melody Rue.
I had spoke to you, I think, back in, the end of October about the ethics training, with elected officials, and talked to a couple of different municipalities that neighbor us, and they were interested in also attending a seminar type of training. So the dates that I got from the Ethics Commission would be Tuesday, February 26th, and Thursday, February 21st, starting at 6 o'clock in the evening, for any type of for training here at the chambers. And it would be the Ethics Commission that would be putting on the training.
And how long is that training?
They said approximately 45 minutes to an hour, and that gives them like a 15-20 minute window for questions and
Questions
answers
at the end.
afterwards.
Melody, I'm sorry, what were those dates and times again?
Tuesday, February 26th, or Thursday, February 21st at 6 p.m. So I don't know which date you guys would like to do.
It doesn't matter to me, so it's more up to the board on what they're available with.
Right, city actually, Tuesday would work better for them. So if you guys wanted to stay with Tuesday evening.
Tuesday
Tuesday's more
Tuesday the
best for me,
26th.
yeah.
It'd be the fourth Tuesday of the month.
Okay,
I can always
26th of
remember,
February.
Just don't skip one.
We all fine with that?
Yes, that's good.
Okay. I think we're good.
Okay.
And you're gonna remind us.
I sure will.
Okay.
Remind me.
And we'll wait.
Is that all, Melody?
That's it.
Yeah. Okay, I'm on item 16. We have two bills that needs to be converted to ordinances. First bill is number 01-13, an ordinance for the purpose, well, I'm not reading it, I'm letting Melody read it.
Call for the first reading of bill number 01-13.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Tallow, seconded by Alderman Kendall for first reading of bill number 01-13.
An ordinance for the purpose of providing for the annexation of certain unincorporated areas of Warren County, Missouri to the city of Warrenton, Missouri, and for the extensions of the western corporate limits of said city to include such areas.
Call for second final reading and passage of bill number 01-13.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Flake, second by Alderman Dreyer for second and final reading and passage of bill number 01-13.
An ordinance for the purpose of providing for the annexation of certain unincorporated areas of Warren County, Missouri to the city of Warrenton, Missouri, and for the extension of the western corporate limits of said city to include such areas.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Flake.
Yes.
Alderman Cornell.
Yes.
Alderman Tallow.
Yes.
Alderman Kendall.
Yes.
Alderman Clark.
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Bill number 02-13.
Call for the first reading of bill number 02-13.
Second.
Motion made by Alderman Kendall, seconded by Alderman Tallow for first reading of bill number 02-13.
An ordinance to authorize the mayor to sign the Morgan Park Pool Management Agreement extending services between Midwest Pool Management and the city of Warrenton, Missouri.
Call for second, final reading and passage of bill number 02-13.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Flake, seconded by Alderman Dreyer for second and final reading and passage of bill number 02-13.
An ordinance to authorize the mayor to sign the Morgan Park Pool Management Agreement extending services between Midwest Pool Management and the city of Warrenton, Missouri.
Roll call, please.
Alderman Cornell.
Yes.
Alderman Tallow.
Yes.
Alderman Kendall.
Yes.
Alderman Clark.
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer.
Yes.
Alderman Flake.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. Item 17, resolution number 300.
Call for the reading of resolution number 300.
Second.
Motion by Alderman Tallow, seconded by Alderman Flake for reading of resolution number 300.
And passage.
And passage, I'm sorry.
A resolution calling for an election on April 2nd, 2013 regarding an unincorporated area of land that is under consideration for annexation by the city of Warrenton, Missouri.
Roll call.
Alderman Tallow.
Yes.
Alderman Kendall.
Yes.
Alderman Clark.
Yes.
Alderman Dreyer.
Yes.
Alderman Flake.
Yes.
Alderman Cornell.
Yes.
Motion carried 6-0. I see nothing else on the agenda but adjournment. I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Alderman Tallow, seconded by Alderman Cornell to adjourn. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed likewise. We're adjourned.